Name me a better pairing than the World Cup of Darts and shocks. Whether that's Spain beating England in the very first World Cup, whether that's Scotland beating Singapore back in 2017, or whether that's Italy reaching the quarter-final stage last year. The World Cup always springs up surprises. And I'm going to name 5 countries who I think have the possibility of having a decent run, causing a bit of an upset, being underdogs for the title in this video. The first country who I think can do a little bit of damage, cause a little bit of unrest to the very top seeds is number 10 seed Canada. The Canadian pairing of Matt Campbell and Jim Long, both tour card holders, Jim Long getting his at Q School earlier this year, Matt Campbell coming into this tournament on decent stage form, reaching the quarter-final of the European Tour back in Leverkusen in the most recent event, so lots to build on there. Jim Long himself has reached a World Cup quarter-final back in 2019 with awesome Dawson Michelle, who remembers him. Matt Campbell is also the reigning North American darts champion, which doesn't get spoken about enough, winning that at Madison Square Garden last year, so I think they have a decent chance, especially in a pretty weak group of Malaysia and Denmark. You'd expect them to get through that group and then obviously the open draw. And I'm not saying that Canada are going to go and win the tournament, but a quarter-final, semi-final run is not out of the question whatsoever. The second country to keep an eye on is Czechia. Karel Sedlacek and Petr Krivka. No Adam Gavlas for the first time with Sedlacek in over 5 years, and Petr Krivka gives a little bit of a different dynamic to the pairing. With Petr Krivka playing in 2 European tours this year, losing out to Richie Edhouse both times, but his celebrations were rather eccentric, rather big. Bit different to Karel Sedlacek, maybe similar to Adam Gavlas in that way, but still a different dynamic. And the pairing of Gavlas and Sedlacek hasn't had too much joy since 2020. They only won their first game in 2023 as a pairing, and in the group stage last year, both games they averaged in the 70s. Wasn't really a strong group last year, but they fancy the chances this year and not the strongest of groups. With Chinese Taipei and India their opponents, you'd expect them to get through that and potentially cause an upset later on in the tournament. The third country I have chosen is the first of 2 Asians, Hong Kong. With Man Lot Leung beating Hian Van Veen in the 2024 World Championship, gaining a bit of cult hero status at that tournament. Sadly, we didn't see him last year in the 2025 World Championship, or this year if you want to call it that, but we did have Lok Hyun Lee, who beat Chris Landman in the opening round, so carried the flag there for Hong Kong, but putting them together in the World Cup is tasty. Especially with the seed in their group being the USA, who aren't really fancied at all, so a good chance of getting through the group, and it'd be great to see them team up yet again. The fourth country I've chosen have not had a very successful last couple of years at the World Cup, the Republic of Ireland. Composed of Keane Barry and Willie O'Connor, famously went out last year in the group stage to Chinese Taipei. They're hoping that same shock fate isn't going to happen this year. I think they're in better stead. Willie O'Connor's had quite a bit more stage experience this year, being reserved in a couple of Euro tours, and they've got somewhat of an easier group. Gibraltar and China, although saying that last year they did lose to Chinese Taipei, which no one really thought would happen, but I think they've got more experience now. It's the 3rd year, you know, that always helps because Keane Barry was obviously only made his debut a couple of years ago, so to build on that, you'd think 3rd time lucky for the Irish. And the 5th and final country to watch at this weekend's World Cup of Darts is the Philippines. Now, they have a really strong pairing on paper. Lawrence Alagan, World Cup stalwart, World Championship stalwart, #1 on the PDC Asian Tour rankings, had a brilliant year, and his partner, Paolo Nebreda, who reached round 3 of the World Championship, beating Ross Smith 3-0, a proper upset there. They'll be pairing together for the first time and looking to cause a bit of unrest. They are, however, in quite a hard group on paper, #6 seed Belgium. But Dimitri Van den Berg obviously has been having a break for the past couple of months. How sharp is he? Mike De Decker making his World Cup debut. Is there going to be any nerves there? There's no guarantee that pairing is going to click straight away. So the Philippines can definitely pounce on that. And I think they could. Maybe not to get through the group, but put up a good chance. So those are the 5 underdog-esque sort of teams that I think could pose a little bit of shock, cause a bit of unrest amongst the group stage to the top 4 seeds even, but there's plenty of other countries. They've all qualified on merit for a reason. There's the short format in the group stage, you know, 1st to 4, anything can happen in those potentially only 7 legs, which is cutthroat format. So hopefully there's shocks, because shocks are always great to see. Hopefully there's an underdog story, much like Italy last year. Yeah, hopefully there's something good. But thanks for watching. Make sure to follow all of my socials, Tom Talks Darts on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Daily TikTok videos surrounding the World Cup. So go and watch them. And please like and subscribe to the channel. Plenty more World Cup videos coming. Plenty more videos coming throughout the year. But yeah, thanks for watching.